The journey to success begins with a single step, revealing opportunities previously hidden by inaction. Many of us, like the young man seeking financial success, get caught in a cycle of preparation without execution. We believe confidence is a prerequisite, but it's actually a result of action. You can't think your way to success. You must act your way there. History is filled with examples. Thomas Edison relentlessly experimented, and Henry Ford acted with conviction to reshape the world. Their defining trait wasn't an ability to summon motivation, but a willingness to act without it. Action engages with reality, revealing what works and what doesn't, replacing doubt with knowledge. In contrast, those who wait remain stagnant, trapped by overthinking and self-doubt. The first step is always the hardest, but once taken, momentum takes over, turning the impossible into the inevitable. Just as a salesman overcomes fear by making the first call, confidence grows with each subsequent action. This principle applies universally. Entrepreneurs, writers, and speakers succeed not because they feel ready, but because they refuse to let inaction dictate their fate. The path to success isn't illuminated by motivation. It's carved by disciplined action. Those who master this truth understand that waiting is the enemy of progress. They act whether they feel like it or not, knowing motivation will follow. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear stands as a shadow at the threshold of every great endeavor, whispering doubts. But fear is a liar. Most of what we fear never happens. Even if it does, failure is merely a stepping stone. Successful individuals fail often but keep moving forward. Taking action, even while afraid, separates achievers from dreamers. Fear shrinks when confronted. It thrives in the unknown, but its grip weakens the moment you act. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but acting despite it. Most failures are recoverable, and mistakes provide valuable lessons. Fear feeds on hesitation, making procrastination its greatest ally. The only way to beat fear is immediate action. Even small, consistent actions dissolve it, chipping away at its power. Like an intimidating wall that reveals cracks upon approach, fear deceives you into believing progress is impossible when only inaction stands in your way. Edwin C. Barnes, who boldly pursued working with Thomas Edison despite having nothing, exemplifies how decisive action overcomes fear. To conquer fear, face it head-on. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Break goals into smaller steps and tackle them one by one. The more you confront fear, the weaker it becomes. Fear only has power if you let it stop you. The greatest enemy of progress is not failure, but the refusal to try. Choose action, choose progress. Destroying procrastination. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow," only for tomorrow to become next week, next month, or next year? The perfect moment doesn't exist. Procrastination disguises itself as preparation or perfectionism, telling you that you need more time, knowledge, or confidence. But delays strengthen inaction. The only way to break free is to act now, even if it's messy or small. One imperfect action outweighs 100 perfect intentions. Implement the 5-2 rule. Commit to working for just 5 minutes. Momentum is powerful. It transforms hesitation into progress. Discipline is key. Control your environment from distractions. Set clear deadlines. Break down tasks and prioritize consistency. Small daily efforts compound into massive results. Success is about showing up daily. Even when you don't feel like it, accountability is your ally. Tell someone your goals, track progress, and write things down. The difference between success and stagnation isn't talent, but the ability to act without waiting for the right mood. Time is your most valuable resource. Every moment wasted waiting is lost forever. Your future is shaped by what you do or don't do now. Stop waiting, stop endlessly planning. Take the first step, no matter how small or imperfect, because action always beats inaction. Building self-discipline. Discipline isn't about suffering, it's about training yourself to win. It's a mindset, a commitment to excellence, and an unwavering belief in perseverance. Every time you show up for yourself, you build trust, which fuels confidence and success. The key to discipline is reinforcing habits that lead to victory. Pushing through discomfort reshapes your mental landscape, rewiring your brain to embrace challenge. What once seemed impossible becomes second nature. Discipline means doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. Relying on fleeting motivation leaves you at the mercy of emotions. Discipline, however, is a conscious decision to act. You don't negotiate with emotions, wait to feel ready, or look for excuses. You simply act. This ability to act despite emotions separates the successful from the stagnant. Success isn't built on motivation, it's built on consistency. When initial excitement fades, discipline takes over, showing up day in and day out. Consistency is the foundation of greatness. Disciplined individuals keep going even when progress is slow or they're tired. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small, wake up when you say you will, stick to commitments, and do the work. These small acts of self-discipline compound, creating personal integrity and limitless potential. The greatest rewards go to those who endure. Anyone can start, but few finish. True discipline is about endurance, staying the course even when uncertain or progress is invisible. That's when breakthroughs happen. Self-discipline is the bridge between your goals and accomplishments. It's not punishment, but a gift, the ultimate form of self-respect and self-love. Train yourself to win, and there will be no limits. Using pain as fuel. Pain can either break you or build you. When faced with adversity, you choose to succumb or rise stronger. Pain is inevitable, but growth is optional. Your response to challenges determines your trajectory. You can let setbacks make you bitter or better. Every successful person has encountered rejection, loss, and failure. They don't let pain stop them. They use it as fuel, forging themselves into something greater. Pain sharpens the mind, strengthens the spirit, and hardens resolve. When others crumble, they rise. The next time life knocks you down, get up with renewed determination. Let pain push you to be stronger, sharper, and more relentless. Growth is never comfortable, which is why pain is essential. It forces evolution, stretches limits, and shatters complacency. The best lessons emerge from struggle. Discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. When in pain, you are in transition. Will you let it consume you, or will you harness it? Wise individuals understand pain as an ally, a force that pushes you forward. Embracing hard times gives you an edge, making you unshakable. Reframing pain as part of the process changes everything. It becomes a guide, not an enemy. Pain isn't the end, but a beginning. Using pain as motivation pushes you beyond what you thought possible, tapping into a hidden reservoir of strength. History's most resilient people turned pain into power, using rejection to refine skills, loss to deepen purpose, and failure as a stepping stone. You have that power within you if you're willing to embrace the struggle. Don't shy away from the fire. Step into it. Every time you feel pain, remind yourself, this is where transformation happens. This is where I grow. This is where I become the person I was meant to be. Life will test you, but pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to build you into someone unbreakable. When the storm comes, stand tall, face the pain, embrace it, and use it as fuel. Setting clear goals. Without clear goals, life is like sailing without a compass, drifting aimlessly. Goals provide direction, purpose, and something to strive for, bringing clarity in a distracting world. But setting goals isn't enough. You must define them with precision. Vague aspirations like, I want to be successful, lack the structure needed for achievement. Instead, set clear, specific, and measurable goals. Ask, what exactly do I want to achieve? By when? How will I measure progress? The more specific you are, the easier it becomes to create a path forward. Once defined, break them into actionable steps. A grand vision can be overwhelming, but deconstructing it into smaller, manageable tasks makes it achievable. Each step builds momentum, turning the impossible into an inevitable reality. However, the most critical factor is action. Without it, goals remain mere wishes. Take action every single day, no matter how small. Consistency compounds over time, leading to massive results. Do any of these sections particularly resonate with you? Or would you like to explore another aspect of achieving your goals?
How much of your life was built on survival, not sovereignty? If you're in a space where nothing feels urgent and old ambitions don't light you up, don't panic. You're not lost, you're transitioning. Carl Jung believed the unconscious wouldn't abandon you. It sends messages, symbols, dreams, synchronicities, quiet impulses to guide you. You just have to stay open. The new self can't be forced, but it will emerge. Navigating the void, you've hit the void, that post-ego death space where old motivations are gone and new ones haven't appeared. This phase is draining. You want to move, create, build something meaningful, but your body and the mind won't sync. Everything feels slow, heavy, pointless. Here's the paradox. What if the thing keeping you stuck isn't the emotion itself, but your resistance to it? Every time you feel tired and beat yourself up for it, you're not resting. You're wrestling, you're burning mental energy, trying to be in a different state than the one you're in. That inner argument is what drains you, not the tiredness. Carl Jung understood this, saying, what you resist not only persists, but will grow in size. And he was talking about the human shadow, the part of ourselves we repress and avoid. When we resist what's inside, we create internal conflict, leaking energy, pretending we are fine. But what happens when you stop? When you let yourself be tired, fully surrender to it. When instead of shaming your lack of motivation, you sit with it, breathe with it, and listen, you begin to feel what's underneath. When you stop resisting the so-called negative state, when you allow it to exist without judgment, you create space for it to move. That's when things begin to shift. Imagine lying in bed, nothing sounds exciting, and your inner critic kicks in. But instead of spiraling into shame, you say, I'm feeling lazy right now. That's okay. I'm going to feel it and not try to escape it. You'll find your body relaxes, your mind softens. And perhaps not instantly, but soon something stirs, a little spark, a curious thought, a small urge to move or create. That's not forced motivation, that's organic momentum. Emotions as energy and fuel. The deeper truth is emotions aren't good or bad from a higher state of consciousness. They're just energy waiting to move, to be expressed, to complete their cycle. Sadness isn't weakness, it's the body processing grief or a need for release. Anger isn't evil, it's often unspoken truth protecting your boundaries. Fear is your nervous system trying to keep you safe. Fear is your nervous system trying to keep you safe. Sadness is your nervous system trying to keep you safe. Fear is your nervous system trying to keep you safe. When they're sad, they cry loudly, then they are done. When angry, they scream, and 5 minutes later they are playing again. They don't have beliefs about their emotions, they just feel them until we teach them not to. We tell them, don't cry, anger is bad, don't be lazy. Slowly they begin to suppress. This suppression creates a shadow, the unconscious part of our psyche, full of every emotion, impulse, truth and desire we've ever judged or disowned. And your real power, it lives in that shadow. Your creativity, passion, boldness, authenticity, all buried beneath layers of shoulds and shouldn'ts. So if you're feeling unmotivated, tired, moody, uninspired, that's good. That's your fuel. You don't need to fix it, you need to feel it. And when you do, it transforms. The power of paradox and the self, just playing with this paradox, can ignite creativity. What if your laziness was your muse? What if you wrote a poem called Fueled by Laziness? What if your sadness became the water that softens stone? Your mind loves a twist, contradiction, when something doesn't quite fit. Because that's where tension lives, and from that tension, new meaning can be born. Once you flip the label, your imagination lights up. It stops trying to escape the emotion and starts dancing with it. This is creativity at its core, raw, real, straight from the soul. Jung would say, this is your unconscious coming online, offering symbols, language and metaphor to help you express what the rational mind can't. So, next time you feel off, don't fight it. Write, paint, or speak from it. Let the paradox be the punchline. Your resistance isn't your enemy. It's your untapped artist. By now you probably realize something most people never get. The path forward after ego death isn't about pushing harder. It's about listening deeper. This brings us to Carl Jung's concept of the self with a capital S. Not your job title, not your Instagram bio, not even your personality type. Jung's self is the totality of who you are. Your soul's blueprint includes your conscious mind, your shadow, your wounds, and your potential. It's not just who you are today, it's who you were always meant to be. The self wants to guide you. It sends messages all the time. Dreams that feel like clues, strange synchronicities, random urges, feelings that don't make logical sense but feel true. But we miss it because we're trained to only trust logic, action and results. Meanwhile, motivation from the self doesn't come from pressure, it comes from resonance, from noticing what feels real, even if quiet, from following the gentle tug, not a loud demand, integrating ego and embracing alignment. It's hard to trust this because feeling, truly feeling, can feel like losing control, and that feels like losing your ground. You have responsibilities and you fear that if you let go, your whole familiar life will crash. That's not failure, that's survival, and it's totally valid. But here's the deeper truth. Feeling your sadness, your tiredness, your anger, it doesn't destroy your life. It grounds you in it, because beneath all that tension is your real self waiting to be heard. Let's make this real. You've been sitting in the void, letting yourself feel, not resisting. One afternoon, a strange urge pops up. You suddenly want to rearrange your room or open a document and type a few sentences that don't make sense yet. You almost dismiss it, thinking that's silly, but it feels light, expansive. That's the self-talking. Follow it. You believe this symbolic, non-linear intelligence is where the gold lives, the transcendent function, the bridge between the conscious and unconscious. When you allow both voices to speak, something new emerges, a direction that isn't forced but revealed. Yes, it's hard to trust, especially in a culture that treats rest like weakness, intuition like fluff, and productivity as the ultimate sign of worth. But the soul doesn't run on deadlines, it runs on alignment. When you start honoring your energy, listening to your deeper impulses, and making space for feeling instead of constantly fixing, slowly then suddenly you start wanting to move again. Not because you should, but because it feels meaningful. You start writing not to be productive, but to express something real. You reconnect not to perform, but to relate authentically. This is when the magic begins. Motivation stops being something you chase and starts being something you channel. You become a vessel for the self, for that inner artist, inventor, healer, teacher, builder. Whatever has been hiding under the rubble of who you thought you had to be, ask yourself, what has myself been trying to say lately? If you don't know the answer, good, that means you're listening. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but what do I do with all of these bills still exist? The world doesn't pause. This is where we bring it full circle. Here's the truth, most spiritual bypassing skips. You still have an ego, and that's okay. Carl Jung never said the ego was the enemy. He believed the goal wasn't to kill the ego, it was to integrate it, to bring it into alignment with the self. Your ego is your interface. It's how you operate in the world. It helps you make decisions, set boundaries, and protect yourself when needed. It only becomes a problem